this is look. I said before, the big, talented man will always beat the small, talented fighter.
One of the most eagerly awaited matchups in boxing is the potential showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Both world champions have shown interest in a fight that could define their era. Crawford, in particular, has expressed a strong desire to move up in weight and face Canelo on his terms.
I'll be going for, you know, if he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win or lose, but
although Canelo had previously been indifferent to the idea, claiming he wouldn't receive credit for such a victory, he has recently shown more openness to considering serious offers. With both fighters eager for high-profile opponents and no major bouts currently on the horizon, the likelihood of this fight happening in 2025 has grown significantly. Oscar de la Hoya, despite his complex relationship with Canelo Alvarez, has also shared his thoughts on a potential showdown between the Mexican superstar and Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford says he wants to fight Canelo. He's changed his tune. He said he's willing to move up 3 weight divisions. To me, that's kind of crazy, but that just shows you, like, man, the dog that's in Terence Crawford. If Canelo...
De La Hoya insists that his views on any potential fight involving Canelo are unbiased. He has a bold opinion on the possible outcome of this matchup, believing that Canelo, with his superior size and power, would have a clear advantage over Crawford at 154 pounds. Crawford didn't look too dangerous in the ring against a beast, so imagine Canelo being the bigger guy being a beast. It's almost a no contest. I mean, come on, when has a smaller skilled guy ever beaten a bigger skilled guy? It's never happened in the history of the sport. It's rare. De La Hoya told Fight Hub TV. Crawford, known for his technical skills and punching power, would face a tough physical challenge in taking on Canelo at his natural weight.
Terence Crawford will beat Canelo anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
While some experts believe Terence Crawford has the skills to compete with Canelo, the size and power difference could be a deciding factor. For now, the future of this potential fight remains uncertain, as both fighters have existing commitments. Any agreement will depend on several factors, including contract negotiations and strategic decisions from both teams. Few fighters have shared the ring with both Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, built proofs to them before fighting again, so it's possible if they did meet, whether Crawford or Canelo would board up a window and try to scrim. The only man to do so professionally was Amir Khan, who suffered stoppage defeats to both. He has already shared his thoughts on how a potential Crawford versus Canelo matchup might unfold.
What do I think of that fight? Yeah. I think that, everybody knows that Crawford got some speed. I do think that Canelo's a little big for Crawford.
A few others have sparred with both men, and one of them has now shared his thoughts on how he thinks the fantasy matchup could unfold. That man is middleweight contender Jerron Davis, who also faced Canelo rival David Benavidez in November 2021. Having sparred with both Crawford and Canelo, Davis told Mill City Boxing that he believes it would be extremely tough for Crawford, and he would back Alvarez to win. Canelo is a big guy. It's going to be a lot. He can take a punch, so you're not going to hurt him. I don't think Crawford can hurt him with one punch. Maybe he can cut him or bother him to the body, Davis said.
A lot for them. It'll be a lot to get that victory based on, size alone. Not that size wins fights, but you got the guy that got size and speed. It'll be hard.
We'll need to land some solid shots and focus on the body, but it's going to be a tough task. Canelo is a real fighter. He has moves and traps. Boxing isn't easy and nothing is impossible, but if I had to bet, I'd put my money on Canelo. I'm not taking anything away from Crawford, but Canelo is great. Can Canelo stop him? He's the bigger guy, and I think one punch could do it. David Benavidez has also shared his opinion on a potential Canelo Alvarez versus Bundo Alcre Batanmio Al Valdo Valbulo Bundo Alvayuza Elen dos Quitesus. So, I'm not Terence Crawford clash.
Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's a money fight. You know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest.
Bud moved up to the 154-pound division for his last fight, where he defeated Israel Madrero by decision. As a result, he now holds the WBO interim super welterweight title, boasting an impressive professional record of 40-0. On the other hand, Canelo is considered one of the greatest fighters of the modern era. He defeated Edgar Malenga at super middleweight in his most recent fight, with a professional record of 62-1. Benavidez praised Crawford's technique but expressed doubts about whether his power can translate to higher weight classes. To face Canelo, Crawford would need to move up 2 more weight divisions.
But it would be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It'd be a great fight, but I feel like if I deserve my opportunity, and after this fight, what else are you gonna say?
In a recent interview, Benavidez said, "To be honest with you, Crawford is one of the best technical fighters I've ever seen. When he moved to 154, I'm not saying he had problems, but he didn't seem to have the same power he had at 147. He'd still need to move up 2 or 3 weight classes. Crawford is a one-of-a-kind fighter, but weight classes must be respected. I'd give Canelo the edge." Benavidez, who has spent the majority of his career at 147 pounds, would need to move up significantly in weight to face Canelo at super middleweight. Meanwhile, Benavidez has long been considered a fighter who could pose problems for Canelo in the ring. However, a dream showdown between the two Mexicans has yet to materialize. So,
you know what I mean? This is a tough fight. You know, the top WBC, the top people ranked at WBC are fighting each other. So I mean, it should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, then I'll go up to fight Bivol, or I'll go try to, I set my conquest on 175.
The fast-handed Benavidez is set to face David Morrell in his next fight on February 1st. Meanwhile, the potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has captured the imagination of boxing fans worldwide. After his dominant victory over Errol Spence Jr., Crawford has openly expressed his desire to face the Mexican super middleweight champion. Crawford, widely regarded as the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world, would face a monumental challenge by moving up 2 weight classes to take on Canelo. However, the road to this historic bout will be anything but easy. Demetrius Andrade, a former super middleweight world champion, has weighed in on this highly anticipated matchup.
Just too much overall. Like, is that kind of the same thing with the Crawford and Canelo because of the weight classes, the weight between them?
Yeah, I believe so.
I love Crawford. He's a good friend. We reach out to each other and have traveled the world together through the amateur program. He saw me beat people up and I saw him do the same. The stories could go on, but when it comes to weight and power, that stuff is real, Andrade said in an interview with Fight Hub TV. Andrade, who was once linked to a fight with Canelo, acknowledged Crawford's immense talent and skill. He said, however, he believes Canelo holds a significant advantage due to his size and experience in higher weight classes. Canelo is a big bad wolf and he can go all night. I think Crawford has the skills, but when it comes to Saul landing shots and avoiding his power punches, Canelo knows how to move too. He's agile, not like a robot. It's going to be tough, Andrade explained.
I love Crawford. He's a good friend. We reach out to each other. We've traveled the world through the amateur program. He see me beat people up. I see him beat people up. He see me get beat up. I got beat up. We both.
I don't think Crawford can beat Canelo, but I still believe he can give him a good fight, and I'll be sitting there rooting for Canelo all day, Andrade added. However, others have a different view, believing Crawford is skilled enough to hurt Canelo, regardless of the weight difference. Bivol was asked to share his thoughts on the much-discussed potential battle between the extremely talented Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, who is widely regarded as one of the best fighters in the sport today.
Crawford wanting to fight Canelo 3 divisions up. Good idea, bad idea?
I don't remember sizes of Terence Crawford.
Welterweight.
if he big actually.
Maybe he's probably.
I remember when I first came to the boxing gym, one of the first lessons I learned was to respect weight classes. But Terence is one of my favorite active fighters. He has great skills, very good skills. Maybe he could show us something. He already knows what to do, and his coach knows too. They'll find a solution, Bivol said. When directly asked if he thought Crawford could beat Canelo, Bivol responded, "I can imagine it." He said, "But it's close. If you tried to rate my legs on one scale, you could equate that with eating Corbets." So this shows how much Bivol values Crawford's abilities, despite the challenge of facing a naturally larger opponent. Bivol also mentioned that Crawford's ring intelligence could give him an advantage over Canelo, saying, "I can tell you that Crawford is one of the best fighters in the world right now. I see him with more boxing IQ."
I came to the boxing gym. One of the first lesson which I should learn, it's like you should respect weight classes. What it means. But Terence Crawford now is one of the favorite.
Hall of Famer and ESPN boxing analyst Timothy Bradley Jr. favors Terence Crawford in a potential matchup with Saul Canelo Alvarez. Bradley took to his YouTube channel to make his case for Crawford, saying, "Everyone keeps talking about the weight. Crawford recently moved up from welterweight to 154 pounds, while Alvarez has been fighting at 168 pounds since late 2020. Oh, he's gonna knock him out? When was the last time Canelo knocked someone out?" Bradley questioned. Alvarez's most recent stoppage came against Caleb Plant in November 2021.
I don't know, someone told me to study Canelo, study Crawford. Crawford about to beat the shit out of Canelo Alvarez. I'm letting y'all know right now, he about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez.
Since then, Canelo has failed to knock out established opponents like Dmitry Bivol in a loss and a 40-year-old Gennady Golovkin. He has also gone the distance with fighters considered to be well below his skill level, such as John Ryder, Jaime Munguia, and Edgar Berlanga. Even Jamal Charlo, a natural junior middleweight, went the distance with Canelo, though he was never competitive with the super middleweight champion. "Y'all can quit with the idea that he's gonna knock Crawford out. Come on, man," Bradley said. "Didn't we just see Alexander Usyk fight Tyson Fury, who was quote-unquote 50 pounds heavier? Canelo is the same height as Crawford, and he's not a natural 168 pounds. Usyk is a great fighter, absolutely, but you know who else is great? Crawford, you know? The great ones know how to figure it out."
Yes, he is. Number 2, Devin Haney. You want to get back, man, go back to your roots, bro. Go back to where you started, bro.
Bradley pointed out Crawford's 74-inch reach, which is 3.5 inches longer than Canelo's, as well as his ability to limit an opponent's output with his counter-punching. Alvarez is already a low-element fighter, and Bradley believes Crawford could win a decision by staying at a distance, using straight punches between Canelo's looping hooks, and tiring him out as the fight progresses. "Don't go running away from the fight now, Canelo," Bradley said, referencing the unified super middleweight champion's apparent avoidance of David Benavidez. Imitating Canelo's higher-pitched voice, Bradley added, "Remember what you said. Easy fight, easy fight, easy fight." While a number of analytical boxing minds share Bradley's opinion, most in the fight game believe that the size and power difference is simply too great for Crawford to impose his skills. However, because he's skilled in the briefs, he related how he was, like Crawford's younger brother, attempting to release the skills from the balloon at the last moment. Like Crawford took the balloon right out of Bradley's hands, but the balloon still loses balance. Now, before you think you're doing everything, the balloon pounded away from David's hand, but the balloon...
Where'd you start? You started in Mexico, man. Go back, get one of those guys out of there, man. Go back, start there. That's where you start. Go back to your roots, bro. Get some of that humble pie, bro. Go back, start where you started. Start where you started at.
Bradley, known for his strong opinions, is confident in his unpopular stance. "I'm going to get back to my hater raid," he said towards the end of the video, sipping his drink. "You already know. Whether the boxing world will get to see a Canelo vs. Crawford matchup seems to be up to Alvarez. Crawford, who became the undisputed welterweight champion in July 2023 after stopping Errol Spence Jr. in 9 rounds, made even more history earlier this year by becoming a 4-division champion, outpointing Israel Madrimov to capture the WBA title at 154 pounds. Meanwhile, the Mexican icon Canelo has also had his share of success in recent years. His Kinyev,
Just with Canelo, obviously he had his fight with Edgar Berlanga announced recently. Not received necessarily a positive outcome and reaction he'd have liked. What did you make of the Canelo Berlanga fight?
After securing the undisputed super middleweight title in 2021, Canelo fell short in a challenge against then WBA light heavyweight champion Dimitri Bivol. However, the 34-year-old has since won 5 straight fights, defeating the likes of Gennady Golovkin, Jermall Charlo, and Edgar Berlanga along the way. Legendary boxing trainer turned analyst Teddy Atlas shared his thoughts with Fight Hub TV on the potential mega fight between the two stars, stating that he would have a hard time betting against the American southpaw. Very few people have the appetite or inclination to challenge themselves the way Crawford does. I ain't ever going against that guy. Father Time might catch him, but I don't know if a weight class can catch him, Atlas said. But
listen, I think Berlanga's a talented kid who's getting better. He's improved recently. I think he still needs more seasoning, but I see an improvement in him. He is a talent.
It's a tremendous challenge because Canelo is a tremendous fighter, bigger, stronger, and capable of punching and timing you. But just because you're smaller, Crawford will come up with a game plan that makes the other guy use his size, McIntyre said in an interview with Fight Hub TV. He offered high praise for the undefeated Crawford, who is linked to a potential fight with Canelo in May or September. Crawford has all the tools to win a 3rd undisputed title. Any hardcore boxing fan knows Crawford can beat Canelo. You have to understand boxing to say that, McIntyre added.
Everybody that believes in hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo, just like they knew Bud was going to beat Spence.
Regarding Conor Benn's performance, McIntyre said, "I think he looked like trash. I didn't watch the fight, but some of the coaches were watching it while I was driving, and they just said he looked like trash. I know Pete Dobson really well, and he gave him a tough fight, but I don't think much of Ben. I really don't know him. I hear his name, but that's about it." When asked about Ben saying he wants Tank Davis next, McIntyre responded, "Why would he go down there and pick on guys at 135 and 141? Why not challenge the guys at 147 and 154? If you really want to fight somebody, fight the best." As for the upcoming fight between Tim Tszyu and Keith Thurman, McIntyre said, "I think it's going to be a good fight. Tszyu has the momentum because Keith has been out for a while."
This is real simple. It's real simple. You just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to say that. Hey, Terry's going to get in there and do what he needs to do. Perform.
It's going to be a tough fight to call right now, but I can see the fight leaning towards Tszyu just because he has the momentum. Thurman doesn't have momentum right now. It's like riding a bike, and Thurman has been at that high level for many years, McIntyre said. He will corner rising star Keeson Davis this Thursday in Las Vegas ahead of the Super Bowl on Sunday. McIntyre expects an excellent performance thanks to meticulous preparation. Thanks to Super Bowl thumping, thanks to meticulous preparation, I want him to grab a few titles, win in a few divisions, and let his body grow. He's only 25 years old, McIntyre pointed out, but 7 or 8 years from now, we could call him one of the greatest to lace up the gloves. The process you have to go through to be called that, and I'm glad he's starting that journey, McIntyre said. It's the energy level he has. He's on the big stage, and the sparring has been good, so he's ready. Now he just needs to focus on training every day, working on strategy, and being mindful of how he eats and sleeps. I keep a close eye on him, from when he wakes up to when he goes to bed. That's my job. he concluded. It's no secret that former two-weight undisputed champion Terence Crawford wants to face former super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez, but making that fight seems nearly impossible. This has sparked rumors about Crawford's potential retirement from the sport of boxing, which means that during Crawford's last fight against Israel Madrimov last year, his representative Alec reached out to Canelo's team to make the much-anticipated matchup. However, a breakdown in communication between the parties led to Alec pulling back the offer. Eddie Hearn, who also spoke to Canelo about the potential fight, doesn't see it happening. Hearn suggested that Canelo is looking for opponents who are willing to stand and fight rather than move around the ring strategically, something Crawford would need to do because of his size disadvantage. Meanwhile, a leak has hinted that Crawford may face off against interim WBC super welterweight champion Virgil Ortiz Jr. next.
When is Crawford coming back? What are the plans for him?
I think he's injured now. We are planning to have something with him. I will discuss with him maybe in January. I see him last week in Hamburg. He said he's have a little injured and he's start.
However, Ortiz's trainer, Robert Garcia, revealed that in a private conversation with Crawford, the Nebraska technician made it clear that he wants Canelo or nothing at all, hinting at Crawford's potential retirement. Even a leak seems to share this belief, telling the Stomping Ground, "I don't think Crawford will fight anyone except Canelo. Even though I wanted to offer Virgil Ortiz as an opponent, I don't think he will take it. I think he only wants Canelo." However, the latest tweet from the undefeated two-weight undisputed champion suggests that retirement may not be on his mind just yet. "I have been doubted my whole career, and some still doubt me now. I love it," Crawford wrote on X.
To rehab now and training again, and we hope to. He's one of our plan to see him fighting.
After seeing this, a fan responded to Crawford, "Keep fighting once a year, bud, what an era." Crawford quickly cleared up the retirement rumors, writing, "The demand is high. It seems Bud might still keep fighting even if it's not against Canelo." However, that hasn't stopped people from speculating about a potential matchup between them. David Benavidez, who is eager for his own fight against Canelo, has shared his thoughts on a possible clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Each night, two officials were called: Daniel Crawford, who had sat out the fight not long before the fighting, Tucker Carlson, who had shut out the fight, salary next year, and Harry Terence. It shows that the filmmakers realized that the demand is high. It seems Bud might still keep fighting against Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. While acknowledging Crawford's technical brilliance, Benavidez expressed doubts about Crawford's ability to handle the challenges of moving up to higher weight classes.
25.
The goal obviously is a Canelo fight for him, right?
We hope he wants this fight, and why not?
You and Canelo, I know you guys are working towards trying to do a...
To be honest, Crawford is one of the best technical fighters I've ever seen, Benavidez said. When he moved up to 154, I'm not saying he had problems, but he didn't seem to have the same power he had at 147, and he'd still have to move up 2 or 3 weight classes. Crawford is a one-of-a-kind fighter, but weight classes have to be respected. I'd give Canelo the edge. But then, the clap. That's all for now. For the best updates on news, moments, events, and action in the world of boxing, stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss our quality content. Until next time, peace out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more exciting videos, make sure to hit the bell icon and stay updated. Subscribe to Boxing Hub now for all the latest in boxing.